guys. This is a lot more of a sit-down vlog. It's currently Sunday at 2:40 p.m. This is not normally the time I'm recording videos, but I'm bulk recording at the minute, so I'm just using the time I have in my little private room to just do some bulk recording. I've just recorded a video just a minute ago, and that's now scheduled, but yeah. So, what happened yesterday? What did I do yesterday? Yesterday, I was at the Koala Sanctuary. Was it yesterday? I don't even know. Let me have a look. Time is a complete blur, so excuse me. Just one moment. So it's Friday. So no, the Koala Sanctuary was on Friday. It's now Sunday. So, Friday night, I was meant to fly to Sydney from Brisbane. So, it was meant to be the easiest thing possible. I packed. I got to Brisbane Airport with 2.5 hours before my flight. I checked in, completely fine. I was flying with Qantas, who I've flown with here from England, so that was meant to be pretty good. But little did I know it would be the first domino to fall in a series of 12-hour events that just have made flying hate me and me hate flying to an unbelievable level. So everything was going right. My flight was at 6:45. I got to the airport at 4, so I had more than enough time before my flight. My bag got checked in. I was having something to eat at the airport. Everything was going well until it didn't. So Brisbane got caught in the middle of a thunderstorm last night. I keep saying last night. It was 2 nights ago now. But yeah, Brisbane got caught in the middle of a thunderstorm. The airport got shut down for an hour. My flight then got delayed. So that happened. My flight got pushed back, only originally by half an hour, which I wasn't too fussed about. It's half an hour. At least I'm still getting to Sydney tonight. But then the flight got pushed back again. And again. And again. And it kept getting pushed further and further back to the point where we were nearing 8 o'clock, which is when most of the flight cut-off at Brisbane domestic airport happened, at least on that day. There was a couple of Jetstar and Virgin Australia flights that were going north to Cairns or Darwin, but nothing going south. Like the last Melbourne flight was 8:10, and that was with Virgin, and I was flying with Qantas, obviously. So it was probably about 7. So the flight was scheduled around 7:55 to begin boarding, and then we would have taken off at 8:05. So a 10-minute boarding session seems weird anyway, but it was at 7 o'clock. Flight got cancelled. So I'm like, I've checked out of my accommodation. I have nowhere to go. This isn't Europe, so they're not going to compensate us massively for the money we've spent. So every person on that flight to Sydney was asking the ladies at the support desk questions on what to do, what is the plan of action, basically. What are we doing? So I mean, originally I got chucked on a flight. I got chucked on a flight for 7 a.m. yesterday morning. But I still had the problem of where I was going to stay, so I ended up being awake until about 1:30 in the morning. And then I just slept for 2 hours on the cold, dirty airport floor. That was fun, so I was absolutely exhausted. I was trying to calm down by listening to Ed Sheeran and James Blunt, just some soft music, because My head was going around in circles. I hadn't even had dinner at that point because I was expecting them to feed me on the plane. So I know I shouldn't have gone in with that expectation, but I kind of did because they fed me on the way to Brisbane and I flew with Qantas. So I was kind of expecting them to be like, here's some food, even if it's like a bit of banoffee pie, like it was on the way out. It's better than nothing, and then I'll eat properly when I'm at Sydney. So we did all that, and then I was on the floor, and it was lucky I pulled out of that. Well, it wasn't. Nothing was lucky about this entire 12-hour stretch, but basically, Qantas emailed me and offered me a flight for 7:10 in the morning yesterday. But then when I spoke to the people at the Qantas front desk after I had retrieved my bag from the cancelled flight, basically he said there's no guarantee that flight will go on because the storm is meant to last. Lucky he said that because I then didn't take that flight. I requested a refund, like a full refund. He said it would be processed within the hour. It's now sometime later, but I still haven't received the refund, and the status of it's changed from within an hour or 60 minutes to within 10 business days. So that's all fine and dandy, and then so I did that. I tried getting in some of the airport hotels. They're fully booked because over 17 flights were cancelled, and every single person had the same idea. And then the majority of people were left on the airport floor. So that's what I did. I found a Virgin Australia flight to Sydney. It wasn't until like 8, 9 a.m. But that was at a different terminal, so I slept in the Virgin terminal, and then basically I checked in for that flight in the morning, and that was all pretty good. And then it went wrong again because that flight was cancelled due to a lack of crew and operational errors, because basically the staff that were meant to come in on the flights the previous night in the thunderstorm, who obviously got diverted somewhere else, they're not in the airport, therefore it's dominoed into the following morning, and almost every flight on the board was cancelled with Virgin or Jetstar. So unless they were going heavily west to like Ayers Rock or Adelaide or Perth or even as north as Darwin, they were all going ahead. But so I went to the international terminal and I slept there because there's more comfy seats in the international terminal of Brisbane. All the flights shot up in price. Luckily, I still have that Virgin flight. So, come to the morning when that flight was cancelled, obviously, same situation. Everyone went to the desks and basically tried to work out what the hell is going on. A lot of people were being chucked on flights for tonight. So, not even the same day, but over 24 hours later for like Sunday evening, which is like, yeah, tonight. I said I don't want to do that. I want to kind of be in Sydney tonight. So I then had the incredible idea to suggest Newcastle, because I saw on the board the Newcastle flight, which is about 2 and a bit hours north of Sydney, was still going ahead. And I said, is there any way you can put me on that flight? And she said, yeah, there's seats available. So I got chucked on that flight. She said she would move my checked luggage over to the new flight to Newcastle. So I boarded on time, the flight took off on time, we landed on time. I get to Newcastle, and is my bag there? Of course it's not. So the horrors don't end there. So basically what happened was they didn't check my luggage in. There'd been some communication error somewhere in this incredible long complicated story, and basically there'd been an error with Virgin, probably because of the understaffing of Brisbane airport, but basically my bag never got chucked on to the flight going to Sydney, or it never got moved off the original cancelled Sydney flight, and it never got chucked onto the Newcastle flight. So therefore, my bag was still sat in Brisbane airport by the time I got to Newcastle. So I had to basically open a missing luggage case, and basically Virgin had to try and track down where the heck my bag was. So that was an utter abysmal nightmare. So the horror's over now. My bag got returned to me less than 24 hours later. Virgin were absolutely okay. I'm not going to give them too much credit on what they do or what they were doing, but yeah, Virgin were all right. That was Virgin Australia I flew with. Yeah, they were all right. So yeah, it's now obviously Sunday, 2:51 p.m. This horror story started at about 7 p.m. on Friday. But I'm back in Sydney now. There ain't going to be videos for a couple of days. I'm basically bulk recording videos to fill the gap, but hence why I'm going to be wearing the same thing in every video. It had to be on a weekend as well when no banks are open. And any international transfer I try and do from my UK account to my Australian account won't clear until Monday. So I'm basically running on very limited funds until that comes through. So it ain't the best, it ain't the worst either, guys. So that's the situation. Everything's sorted now. I'm in Sydney. So thank you guys for watching, and I guess the next time you'll see me will be in the next video, which is pre-recorded. I recorded the video going out on Wednesday and Tuesday before I recorded this one. This is the last video I'm recording today. I'm only bulk recording 3 videos. But anyway, guys, thank you, and I guess the adventure will continue as early as Monday.